Hello and welcome back to Health Alliance Network live and in person. My name is Steve.
And Steve.
Steve and Steve.
That's right.
And again, as you know, if you're on this call and your name is not Steve,
You're not on the call.
Please hang up now. Please hang up now.
You're not on the call.
So thank you for attending. And Health Alliance Network, who are we? Who are we?
Who are we?
Who are we? That's a great question.
Great question.
Who are we? Health Alliance Network is a health and wellness company, and we are focused on care by way of one-on-one interactions with doctors, general practitioners, pediatricians, specialists, all U.S. board certified, dermatologists, behavioral health specialists, psychologists, psychiatrists, as well as, you know what else we have?
What do we have?
We have a prescription benefits plan associated with everything that we offer. We are offering all of these services in all 50 states and Puerto Rico.
Awesome.
And it's available to everybody. On the
so you have medical, dermatology, mental health counseling, and a free prescription benefit plan.
You do.
That's it?
How do you know?
I just heard it somewhere.
You got some more grass over.
I read the script. Yeah, right.
So that's what we have, and that's what we do. And one thing we say, and as Steve said last call, we like to have a good time on calls. We don't take ourselves seriously. We take our business very seriously.
I don't take myself seriously at all.
I don't take you too many places at all.
Yeah, I know. The fact of the matter is, we had a business meeting earlier today, and I took a hoverboard to the meeting. So.
And fortunately, we did not have to call the doctor.
We didn't.
Other times, yes. That time, no.
I actually did ride a hoverboard all the way to the meeting. What are you doing? Anyway, let's get started.
So we're going to do our best to keep this call under 20 minutes, especially on Halloween night.
Mischief night.
Yeah. What's the night?
That's the night.
So there you go. So tonight, our call is what 7-cent item can save your life? So somebody posed this question to me today, and my answer was, well, I don't know, because I got to ask Steve.
It's my topic.
It was his question.
Everybody would like to know this. Where can you spend 7 cents on something that can save your life? And actually, he doesn't know the answer. He will know. He does know the answer. He just doesn't know what I'm going to say.
The first place I thought it was a dollar store. That's 93 cents too much.
93 cents too much, right? I'm going to show you what you can buy for 7 cents that you should have with you all the time, no matter where you go, and it can save your life. I carry it with me every day. And why I said this is yesterday somebody pointed it out to me. And I said, well, I carry this every day.
Car keys?
Cadillac.
For 7 cents.
Yeah, it's a 7-cent Cadillac. It's a very old Cadillac. I carry this little keychain container. Now that in itself is not 7 cents, but what's in it is worth 7 cents, and it can save your life. I carry this every day. I can get it out. It
might be worth 7 cents, but you can't get it out.
Yeah, I carry aspirin, and inside you can see I have Benadryl. And the reason I carry aspirin, obviously, in an emergency, if you're feeling chest pain, feeling uncomfortable, and you're nowhere near a hospital, as everyone knows, you can take an aspirin, and it can save your life. The Benadryl is for those of you that may have allergies, any kind of allergy whatsoever. I have a couple of allergies. I'm allergic to cats. I'm allergic to bee stings, and if I get stung by a bee and bit by a cat at the same time, I'm having breakfast at a Waffle House, then I need to take some Benadryl.
That's a day.
That's a day.
That would be a day.
That would be a day, right? But seriously, if you don't carry aspirin and Benadryl with you, or Benadryl is the name brand. We all know what the product is. You don't have to buy the name brand Benadryl. There's several generic versions of that work equally well. 7 cents. It can save your life. And what reminded me of that was the meeting that we had yesterday with the gentleman from California that flew in to talk with us. He said he was driving down the highway. He began to suffer some chest pains. He said he had his left arm went numb, and he called his wife. And his wife said, don't worry about it. You're probably just indigestion. And he said, I don't know. It turns out he had a stroke, right?
Yeah, but she said to him, it's probably indigestion. By the way, where's life insurance policy?
Yeah, exactly right, exactly. The good news is he had 4 stents put in, and his life was saved. And I pointed out to him that I always carry aspirin with me in the event that something happens to any of them. It can happen at any age. It doesn't matter how old you are, you can have a heart condition. It does not matter. 7 cents, carry it with you all the time. I keep it on my keychain. It's with me no matter where I go. I have several keychains, and I keep it on all of those keychains.
I like that.
Great
I keep
idea.
aspirin with me all the time too, not for a heart attack, but I get migraines.
Aspirin for migraines.
Yeah,
That's another good idea.
yeah, big time.
Big time. So it's very easy. Carry with me all the time. That's a waterproof container. Has a little sealer on the outside of it. You can buy these at any general store, merchandise store, or that's the cap. This is what it looks like. I'm sure you've all seen these. They screw together like this, and they come to a nice little seal. They're airtight, watertight. Very handy little device.
Very nice. That was our QVC moment.
It was our QVC moment.
We're not selling it.
Although we are not selling it. So let's get into the meat of our discussion tonight. And the meat of what we want to talk
I'm
about.
going to roll up my sleeves for this one.
You got to. It's a little warm in here, isn't it?
I'm ready.
I'm ready. We're going to get into the meat of this discussion tonight. How about an ER visit? There's a disturbing trend that's taking place in the insurance business. If you have a visit to the ER, do not expect your insurance company to pay for that visit. You will say, that doesn't make sense.
That doesn't make sense.
Did you say that? It doesn't make sense. And here's what it is. Let me just show you briefly. I have an article pulled up here. To read the entire article, go to our website, and the website, of course, that referred you here tonight, the heatlhcare.com website. There's a blog on the website, and on that blog, it will show you, we'll give you some details about this particular article and what come about and how this all come about. It's a disturbing trend. We've been seeing this happen over the last year. And I think the insurance companies are testing the market to see if they can get away with it, and so far they have. This particular case that I'm referring to, that I have the link on our website to, at healthalliancenetwork.com blog, about a young lady, a female, 27 years old, by the name of Brittany. She had a fever, she had pain in her side, and her mother said, you must be having an appendicitis. And she sent her, said, you need to go to the emergency room right away. At the end of the day, she didn't have an appendicitis, but she had a $12,000 hospital bill. Ooh. Yeah, that was the problem. Her insurance carrier said, Brittany, and that's her real name, we're not going to pay the bill because it wasn't an emergency. You went to an emergency room for a UTI infection. Mm-hmm. You weren't having an appendicitis. That's a problem. Yeah, that's a major problem. So now the insurance companies are expecting us to self-diagnose ourselves.
And that's the thing, they're supposedly obligated to pay for the symptom, not the diagnosis.
That's correct.
So I have a symptom of all those pains. I'm not a doctor. How would I know it could be something simple or something more serious? I have to go to emergency or a doctor. I have to go somewhere for treatment because I don't have a PhD hanging on my wall.
Yeah, you're right.
You have a PhD.
I do have a PhD.
And you still can't write a prescription.
I can't write a prescription. Thanks a lot. Here's an example. You feel chest pain. You feel chest pain. Yeah, that's so. Yeah, you feel chest pain, so you head to the local emergency room. Just like our friend did. I feel pain. I feel pain. I should probably have this checked out. I mean, that's your natural reaction, particularly if you're over 40 years old, or 50, or 60, or 70, like I am. If you have chest pain, you're going to head right to the ER room. But it turns out that your chest pain was just indigestion. Mm-hmm. It seemed like a heart attack, but you know what? I just ate something I shouldn't have eaten. That's what happened. And guess what happens to that case? $12,000 hospital bill for the ER, and your insurance company says, we don't pay for indigestion in emergency rooms. That's a fact.
And the problem with that trend is it pushes people away from actually going to get service when they think they might need it. They're like, wow, man, if I go and I make a mistake, I'm not a doctor, but if I make a mistake, it could be like 10 grand, 12 grand, like you're talking about.
Yes, sir. That quick.
Insurance company may not take care of it. It's not like I'm going to get on the phone and do an evaluation with my insurance agent.
No, they're not going to tell you anything. Yeah, the last thing your insurance company wants you to do is to run up a hospital bill. And now they found a way not to pay for it. It's called the post-discharge summary. Why did you go to the emergency room? I had chest pain. What was the diagnosis? I had indigestion. We're not paying. We don't do that. We don't pay for indigestion. That's not fair. It's absolutely not fair. I wrote a blog about that. I'm getting ready to write a white paper that will be posted to our LinkedIn account. If you don't follow me on LinkedIn, you should, because I'm an interesting writer. Yeah, it's me. But here's the thing. The ER is your go-to place if you have insurance. I got insurance. I'm going to go have this checked out. Not anymore. And let me tell you what's not immune. Medicare, if you're on Medicare, it's not immune. Medicare says, we'll pay for your ER visit if it's an emergency. Guess what? You could be stuck with the bill even if you're on Medicare, even if you're on Medicaid. You could get stuck with a hospital bill. And you say to yourself, that's not a big deal. It is a big deal because it follows you forever.
What do I have insurance for?
Right, exactly. I'm beginning to wonder. Yeah. You said something earlier today that really, really struck a nerve with me. And that because of what's happening in this new healthcare law, where the insurance may or may not pay for your hospital bill, there's a lesson here. Don't self-diagnose. No. Don't self-diagnose.
And I'll have to say on to that, because that was a stroke of brilliance on my side coming up with that.
It was.
It was a moment.
It was.
On top of that, when you have the telemedicine platform as we have,
yes,
it gives you the ability, as we always say, a doctor in your pocket. You can always make a phone call and say, hey, I'm feeling this, or I think that, I don't know. You can get a professional opinion right away from one of the doctors. And if you're not sure, at least you can get some level of an evaluation over the phone.
You can rule it in or rule it out. You can rule it in or rule it out.
That's from somebody who has a PhD who can write a prescription.
That's not me.
No.
But the point is, don't self-diagnose for two reasons. We heard a story today where a gentleman self-diagnosed. And I'm sorry, forgive me, but I forgot what the condition was. His cousin was telling us about it.
He thought.
Yes.
He thought it was sciatic.
Oh, he thought it was sciatic. That's
which
right.
Meant that, as talking with some folks, some medical folks actually, they said that you might need spine surgery.
Oh no, I'm talking about the other one. I'm talking about his cousin that actually died. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, wait, let me finish this one.
I'll go with that one. You can do that one first. Then we'll go to that one. Okay,
apparently,
you first.
Well,
what you got to say?
The self-diagnosis is not working so well. So anyway, this guy said, look, I got to go to the doctor because I'm having way too much pain because sciatic is just tearing me up. Goes to the doctor. Turns out is not a sciatic, not even close. He has 2 hernias.
They wanted, yes, exactly. They wanted to do spinal surgery to begin with.
Yes.
He only had 2 hernias.
So self-diagnosed the fact that he thought it was sciatic and I need spinal surgery, so I'm aborting that right now.
I'm going to do it.
Then the pain was just too intense. Went to the doctor, 2 hernias, got taken care of.
It's interesting because that self-diagnosis could go either way, particularly with guys. We'll feel something and we'll say, yeah, it's all right. It's going to go away. Maybe, maybe not. You need to rule it in, rule it out. Telemedicine is a perfect platform for that. What we do, and yes, we are selling telemedicine. We don't sell these little things you carry on your keychain, but we do sell telemedicine. I just noticed that Big Mike was in the room here. Where is he? Oh, he's there. Hey, Big Mike. And we got a little Mike with us.
I hope he's recording.
Yeah, I hope he is too.
Big Mike, Baby Mike.
Yeah, he has to be recording because it's a live show.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, he cannot. The other story, which was a sad story, he said his cousin, who was the provider for the family and actually 3 generations of the family, he was a tradesman. I believe he said he was an electrician, if I remember right, and that he had self-diagnosed himself. He had some pain in his upper body, which resulted in
letting it go. It was not at a moment. It was over the course of time.
Yes.
But busy guy. Didn't have time to take care of it. No, and I'll let you finish the story, but it goes right on the fact that we're all always busy taking care of everybody and everything. And
well, that's right. He was taking care of 4 families.
He's taking care of 4 families. He's working,
and
he's providing for all these families. So in his mind, he's like, I can't stop. And I'm just going, tough guy. I'm going to trudge right through everything. So then
I'm a tradesman, and what happened was he finally went to the doctor, and he had developed water around his lungs and heart. And to cut to the bottom line, within 4 days he had passed. This condition had gone on for some period of time. He ignored it. It's going to go away. It's going to go away. It finally got to a point where it couldn't. And he, after seeing a physician, he passed away in 4 days after that. Left 4 families to provide for that. Don't have any way.
They're still facing.
Yeah, they're still
facing. It's
horrible.
So the emergency, you got to think about going to the emergency, realize what could or couldn't be. Your alternative could be urgent care because you have your primary care or telemedicine, really.
That's right. Which
telemedicine cusps not only on primary care, but also urgent care.
Right.
And then emergency. So you could go to urgent care to get things checked out. Now the thing with the emergency room is they have to take you when you come in.
Yes, absolutely.
Urgent care doesn't have to take you.
No, you pay in advance. That'll be $150. Please, now what's wrong?
The average is 150. So for example, if you have an ear infection or UTI or flus and fever, these kinds of things, that's average is like 150, 155 to go in. These are all things that telemedicine takes care of, by the way.
They do.
So you can use your telemedicine at your one price with no copay,
right?
No deductible,
yep.
Available all the time, and you don't have to go wait in line in urgent care. Anyway, there's a little pitch for telemedicine, but that's the point of where telemedicine is really coming in and making a big difference.
Definitely the future of healthcare.
And it is giving you the ability to not have to self-diagnose. You can then get that doctor, as we mentioned earlier, on the phone to give you a proper evaluation. So you know what, you really do need to go to emergency, and then document it too before you go there.
Yes, and make no mistake about it, that we're not suggesting that if you feel bad, you should not go to the emergency room.
Yeah.
For goodness sakes, if you think you're having a heart attack, even if it's not, don't take a chance. Go straight to the emergency room. But on your way, you may want to use your telemedicine product, which is simply your phone. You can pick it up and talk to a doctor by phone or video chat.
As well as go back to the diagnosing folks, us, where we don't want to go to the doctor because we don't have time or whatever reason. We'll tough it out because we just think we pulled a muscle again, picking up a sponge off the ground. But at least the telemedicine.
He's making fun of me, by the way.
At least the telemedicine will give you, that comfort to know that you got that doctor. You need to go and see, get off the phone, go to the hospital, stop playing around.
Go to the hospital right now. So exactly. I think that the lesson here is don't expect your insurance carrier, Medicare or Medicaid, to pay for an emergency room visit if it's not an emergency.
Right.
Don't self-diagnose. Get an opinion from a professional as quickly as you can. And the interesting thing is, this trend is not all over America yet. There's only a few states that are trying this. And I believe the insurance companies are kind of testing the water to see how many people are going to accept this. So far, it's a trend that initiated, I think, in the middle summer of last year. It's now, and I know 4 states are allowing it to take place. I've got a list of those on our website and our blog. You can go research that to see if you're one of the states. Go to heatlhcare.com, click on the blog, see if your state's included.
Perfect. Well, thank you everybody for coming this evening.
Thank you very much.
Steve, I want to thank you for attending. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. I love this job.
There is no show unless there's at least 2 Steves in a row.
And remember, folks, we're going to tell you good night. Always, as always, be kind, be grateful. You never know what someone else is dealing with. So always be kind, always be grateful. Good night, everyone.
Words to live by. Good night.
Good night.